What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here, and we're back again for another Modern League. So I'll be running the same list that I was running yesterday, no changes. Actually, I think I changed one Seal of Primordium out for one Force Figure in, but other than that, it's an unchanged list. If you'd like to see a little bit of deck tech about the card inclusions and why they're in there, I'll link my previous league in the description below, but we'll just jump straight into one here now. And yeah, we didn't quite get like the super best result last league. In all the matches we lost, Force of Negation would have been fantastic and pretty much won us the game. But we didn't see it in 3 of those matches, so we're back again playtesting, seeing if we can beat that variance this time. Alright, so match number 1, and we lost the die roll here. And they've chosen to play first. This 7 is absolutely fine. We can keep this. Opponent mulligans to 6. We will keep. Here I'll probably, depending on what my opponent does, I'll probably lead on the Misty Rainforest. It's Elves. This might be a tough one, but we do have double Daybreak if we can get to it. Yeah, I'll definitely lead on the Forest here. Probably gonna have to get... Ooh. That could be good. Yeah, we have to get Temple Garden here. We probably are going to be in the situation where we're fetch shocking twice, though. Alright, opponent gets to storm off a little bit here. Actually, this is kind of bad, because we can't really attack into him. Curious Obsession will fall off if we do. We find the Arcane Flight though, so like, that's really good. Went from bad to good real quick there. I think I might be like a little bit greedy and conserve life here. We could go for the Hallowed Fountain, take the extra 2, or we could just cure, like, we have the Curious Obsession to play next turn anyway, as long as he doesn't make us use Force. It's like worse if we don't get Hallowed Fountain if we draw like Ethereal Armor though. I think let's get Hallowed Fountain. If we use the Curious Obsession up here on the Force Negation, then we're gonna wish pretty badly. Alright, so what's the opponent's play? Elvish Archdruid, sure. Alright, opponent with a little bit of an attack. We draw a Scout. So obviously casting Daybreak Coronet, there's no question there. I think we cast a Curious Obsession as well. There's potential that we lose our Force of Negation though. I think if our opponent had Collected Company, he probably would have gone for it that turn though. This does give us only one more draw to draw a blue card though. So hopefully calculated. Calculated risk here maybe. One card left in their hands. Zuri Renegade Leader. I mean, it's a pretty good one. So he has the ability to regenerate an elf. Okay. He just passes. We draw Daybreak Corrin. We draw Slippery Bogle, which is okay. Attack for 9, put our opponent to 3. Alright, well, hopefully he doesn't kill us, although he does lord all his elves. Mostly for free. If he attacks with the Archdruid, that's a pretty obvious block, because that will reduce 4 power, as well as stopping the 2 here. Yeah, this Slippery Bogle is likely to stop like 1 point of damage. Opponent concedes, so we actually get a rare victory against Elves there. And we literally have nothing in the sideboard to bring in, so let's run it back. Alright, so we see this 7, and we're going to be throwing. Opponent keeps theirs. Alright, this is a keep. We'll ditch the Rancor, and we'll get into it. Yikes, if we hit another white mana here, we might be okay by our turn 3. This deck also runs Reclamation Sage, so they can destroy our enchantments. We do have a duplicate Daybreak, which is reasonable. Yeah, it looks like he's setting up for like a destroy effect in this next turn. Let's just put him in a situation where they can't block, where we do get our card draw, where we hopefully get white mana for Daybreak Coronet. Always yes, always yield. Boom. Alright, thinning those extra creatures off the top. Lots of 1 mana dorks here. So we brick on land, which is unfortunate, but we will play out Staggering Insight, which will give us life gain. Our opponent, like, kind of has to block this with one of their dorks, I think. Maybe they don't. We'll see what they go for. Because this will stop us from drawing 2 cards, which is pretty good. And they just regenerate it anyway. Didn't think about that half. Losing the Rancor seems pretty bad now. We might be able to draw some flying and go over the top, but priority number 1 would be white mana. Alright, I'm actually going to leave that one in hand. Are we getting Collected Company, or is he just going to block Regenerate again? Or maybe block with multiple creatures, give them all Death Touch and such. Trample. Gain 3/3 Trample. Trample, Regenerate, Regenerate. We're actually losing our guy here. I should have thought before I attacked. Wait. No. We don't lose our guy because this removes them from combat. Although if we played our Curious Obsession, we wouldn't lose our guy. Because we didn't, we do. Did he play that ability twice? Why have they... Oh, they get +3. Okay, I'm tired. I'm sorry. That was bad. I'm pretty much throwing the game there then. See if we can get something done with Force. Maybe draw a land and reload on Scout. But unfortunately, we didn't curve out. It's like somewhere where like Path to Exile would be great. Just get rid of this Azuri, remove the problem. Alright. Never see another land. Unlucky. Alright. So actually the correct play was play the second Cartouche. Sorry, second Curious Obsession. So we could get 2 regeneration shields out of there, remove them from combat so they no longer deal damage to us. Then we only take 4 damage off his creature. I did not think that one through. No auras. And throw this one too. Alright, we'll keep this. Ditch. Done. Hope not to get stonewalled again. By our opponent's cards. By our opponent's 1 mana creatures with regenerate. Right on time. Alright, so no blocks. We get our trigger. Hopefully we hit our land drop. We do. We can probably just like slow roll this till next turn. Save 2 life. Could like Temple Garden play Scout as well. Alright, well, if we played the Ethereal Armor, it just died to the Reclamation Sage there. So, sort of one of the reasons why I didn't. Cool, we are drawing hot. Alright, Reclamation Sage, done its job. Opponent denying the card draw. Nettle Sentinel, you'd have to assume that one's off the top. Azuri, yikes. So this is pretty bad. Really bad. I'd like to say I'm surprised that they had more cards in hand, but you know, it's really not a surprise. Their creatures do stuff, ours do not. Now their elves have regenerate, but we also have to attack or else we lose Curious Obsession. So we just kind of lose this one. Unlucky. Elves is like a bad matchup for green-white anyway. The opponents are always just like way faster than we are. And yeah, like it's a pretty rare day that you actually beat elves. So we like sort of got close, but obviously we had problems with dealing damage to our opponent. They had regeneration shields up. These Curious Obsessions weren't dealing damage. They weren't doing their job. Breaking on the Rancor on the Arcane Flights didn't help. I think in one of the games I bottomed the Rancor, but we only had, that was game 2, we only had blue-white mana anyway. We never drew green mana, so that wouldn't have made a difference. Okay, so here we are for match number 2, and we are versing Penobile. I don't know. Something along those lines. We won the Darrell. We are on the play. Alright, so opponent is also on a Lurus deck. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they are a Shadow variant though. So far the starting hand looks good. We're going to keep it and get into it. We'll lead on the Gladecarver Scout because later on, Slippery Bogle, it could get pitched to a Force Negation. You never know. Alright, opponent plays their Mish's Bobble, goes ahead and sacks it. Looking at themselves, they decide to play Blooming Marsh into Thoughtseize. So I guess they're looking at information as to whether or not they needed the Thoughtseize or not. Whether or not they needed to play the fetch land or not and shuffle their card. interestingly enough, they do that without attacking our hand. Our hand is actually really good here. He probably takes the Staggering Insight. Alright, that is indeed his choice. Yield to this rubbish. And what do we draw? Hyena Umbra? I mean, that's still pretty reasonable. I doubt there's a main deck Edict effect. I could be helping my opponent towards the Death Shadow, but the Blooming Marsh makes me think it's not a Shadow deck. Might just be the Rock deck with like Grim Flayers and Hex Drinkers. And whatever this creature is. Hold on, let's read this first. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponent controls no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Not relevant to us. When a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy just playing Daybreak Coronet and attacking here. Jump block? No chump block. Alright. Opponent goes to 8. We go to 22. So next time, obviously, we just play the Arcane Flight, attack in the air, and we're 1 damage off winning. Play the Bogle also, unless we draw an aura that wins us the game. Opponent leaving up 1 mana here. Nope, playing out that Hex Drinker. Alright, well, we can call it, like, really good, can't we? So attack our opponent down to 1. And see what they do. Opponent concedes. Alright, it's turn 2 creature, not that spicy against Bogles. Alright, so this is a Jund deck. It's probably going to have... If we had like a Rest in Peace or a Soul Guard Lantern, I'd probably be inclined to bring it in. But these Surgical Extractions, not nearly as powerful. I think we run it back. We don't have any Leyline of Sanctity. Obviously, they're a discard deck, but we don't have any Leyline of Sanctities. Force Negation can sort of act in that role, at least for 1 turn, do like a poor man's Leyline. But yeah, I don't see anything else in our sideboard we want. We get the good old no landers. Mulligan, opponent keeping 7. So if the opponent's keeping 7, we all really know what that means. I could mulligan and look for something better. I think we like just keep. We're probably getting Tome Thoughtseers. I'm going to ditch the Curious Obsession in anticipation that we're going to need to get Dried Arbor to play this game. But even then, it's just dead to like a Fatal Push, so... This time, he again looks at his own library. Plays a tapped Treetop Village. Okay. We might get our Stalker out there after all. Dark Confidant. Alright. Alright. What are we finding now? Alright, we continue to get these amazing 7s. Let's throw down. Card disadvantage is the way. I guess we keep this, although it's pretty garbage. We do better on a 5. Like, these 2 auras aren't impactful at all. I think we can do better. Fuck. Keep. Bottom. 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 Opponent, of course, keeping a 7. I don't think we win the game off of these other enchantments. I think we just ditch the force and go for like raw value here. We'll start on Temple Garden. If we draw land, I'm very tempted to go a turn to Invisible Stalker. Because there's a world where this Slippery Bogle gets blocked out of the game by their 1 million creatures. But Invisible Stalker does not get blocked. So he's probably going to take the Hyena Umbra here. Wow. Opponent respects the Stalker. And I respect him respecting the Stalker. That's a pretty big play from him. We do go ahead and draw mana though. So we're going to get this Hallowed Fountain down. This Rancor down and start the clock. Yikes. Fortunately, we can't like lure us to hand or anything here. We could Rancor for an extra 3, Ethereal Armor for an extra 3 damage, but that's honestly pretty weak. My opponent can like discard spell plus hold up explosives. No discard spell. He might be saving discard spell for Lurus. I think even if he does that, we have Ethereal Armor plus Rancor to attack with. That's 5 damage. I think this is fine. He's taking damage off his peatland? Question mark. All right. The old Thoughtseize. Rip. Alright, let's see how kind the top of our library is. Opponent puts themselves to 1. We can actually potentially win this with a Dryad Arbor as well. And the one time they needed him the most, he forsook them. Oh no. I don't know if it was like too hasty putting Lurus to hand there. I just don't ever see where we're having like 6 or 7 mana to have it and play it in the same turn. But I can start eating stuff from our graveyard too. Gaining some life. Heck yeah, people. Let's go. All right. Oh, yeah, my bad. I got a little bit excited there. Should have this Curious Obsession in hand, really. And then we have an extra 2 power next turn. Hopefully this doesn't cost it for us. Scavenging Ooze can go to 4. Which will have them at 2. Why does that stupid chat box come up like an hour later, half an hour later after I do the trade with mana traders? It's so dumb. They've left the conversation. Okay. So we can kind of not attack here. Because if we attack here, we can only kill one of his creatures. We need a Curious Obsession in this spot. Whoops. Awkward. Opponent growing that Scavenging Ooze even bigger. This Hex Drink is going to become really big soon. They lure us to hand. And they're happy with this defense game. They are really happy with this defense game. Well, has our opponent got the Assassin's Trophy? We're about to find out because there is no way I'm not attacking here. It'd be pretty bollocks if he does. Okay. Yep. So we put him to 1. And then he can lure us, bring back explosives, and we hope they miss on a land. I don't know why he cycled that land if he's... That seems odd. Because he had a peat land here. That's enough mana. I don't know what he's doing. He's throwing the game. He had Lurus plus explosives plus active. Weird. Alright, so here we are for match number 3, everyone, versus Asonso JF. And we lost the Darrell. Opponent is a Yorion deck on the play. Hands a keep. Got blue cards to pitch to the Force. We've got a Scout to start the game on. This is fine. Is this a Thoughtseize deck? Is that what's going on here? Probably Utopia Sprawl, right? Abundant Growth. I'd prefer to hit like a Teferi or something. Cool. Alright, we'll play our guy. We'll pass it over. See what they're going to do with their fixed mana. Could just be a Ren and 6. I mean, we can stonewall them really hard if they go Ren and 6 here. Does my opponent have Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay? I think the most likely story is like an Ice Fang Quaddle. Let's go ahead and lead on this one. Play out the Curious Obsession. Make them have the blocker or we're going to start getting some value. Oh, you don't like that one, do you, opponent? Oh, no, Trio in tapped. Alright, let's go. That line's kind of dead. So our opponent casting. Go for that greedy Kai's Guile. Go for that greedy Kai's Guile. Come on, opponent. Yes! Let's go! There is no sweeter feeling. Holy crap. Hopefully we draw a creature and can play it here. Oh shit, I'm stupid, I shouldn't have played the forest. I was thinking that as I went to my attack step as well. Alright, hopefully we can dodge one more turn. I've done my best to throw the game, people. Hey, go for Ren and 6, let's go. Getting back that land drop, yep. Alright, before anything else happens, let's just get our land down. Let's make it so our opponent can't crack this fetch either. Opponent just concedes, cool. Alright, well, looks like we're versing like maybe one of those 4-color Omnath decks with like Scapeshift and things like that. Scratch that. We're versing a Kaya's Guile deck. That's the bloody card we saw. We're bringing in these surgical extractions. If they get one Kaya's Guile, they are not getting a second. We are going to be exiling the heck out of those things, getting rid of them. Cards to remove, probably Arcane Flight. Yeah, let's just go down on Arcane Flight. Alright, we'll get back into it. Alright, we see this hand which has double creature. It's like a little bit slow with this Ethereal Armor. I think on the balance of things, being able to draw against what's probably a Thoughtseize deck, I think this is a keep, double creature. We'll see what happens. Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, not today, opponent, not today. So we'll let him take, I guess, Ethereal Armor. He's probably going to take the creatures, honestly. If he's got Kaya's Guile in hand or playing towards Kaya's Guile as a win condition. Yep, he's going after the creatures. Beautiful draw. Alright, guy pass. It is an island. It does not pitch to force. Alright, whatever. Fuck off, man. So far, Leyline of Sanctity. These are two Thoughtseize decks we've versed in a row. Let's get that attack happening. Oh, nice. Opponent all the way down on 12. We're winning this race. Running 6. Boy, I wish I could counter that. Show my opponent. What do we hit? This is like sort of embarrassing at the moment how poorly we've drawn. Attack our opponent. I think I'm just going to leave this fetch land here uncracked all game. Probably. There's a chance we crack it, actually. We're close to having a hard cast Kaya's Force Negation up. Prismari Charm. Omnath? No. Can't be Omnath. Nahiri. Okay. Pressure's on. We need to start winning. This thing also exiles our enchantments, which is just fucking fantastic. Could just get the Dryad Arbor. It's 3 creatures that attack. It dies to a running 6 ping. Let's play it safe. Cool. Now that's more like it. Crack. Alright, big time. Kill Nahiri. And attack our opponent. You have to deal with this or it will start exiling enchantments. And yeah, from next turn we'll be able to just play with Force Negation up, so that's really sweet. A little bit soft to like Assassin's Trophy effects. That is fine. It's like weird because normally against a control deck, in the spot that I was in, I'd never get out of it. But because he's got these interactive elements, like Thoughtseize, it's just like he's not holding up counter magic, is he? Like that's not what's going on here. Another Nahiri. Kaya's Guile, sack, gain life. Sure. So you get one of those, opponent. You get one of those. I'll take it. Attack the opponent. You know it's in my hand. It's been in my hand since that first Thoughtseize. Question is, do you have discard plus force plus Kai's Gale? He can land, discard, Snapcaster Mage, target Kai's Gale. Opponent concedes. Let's go. All right. So we actually top decked out of that one pretty well. I think the main problem is our opponent just didn't have any pressure on us though. Like, they just let us draw. They didn't do anything, right? And we top decked that Rancor at the perfect time as well. All right. So welcome back for match number 4 of this modern league. Won the die roll versus Baston. And yes, I had to say that with the slightly French accent to it. All right, well, we'll keep this hand and we'll get into it. Stalker is like pretty much our only creature. We can go in on a Dryad Arbor, but it's not hugely ideal. I'm going to play this Windswept Heath just in case we need it though. It's good to get like potentially problematic if they take our Stalker and, or if they, yeah. I think I don't overthink it. I think I just crack for my land. No, why are we draw step stopped? There is no Vendilion click here. It can't come in at 1 mana. Alright, so we do the thing. Alright, that scar went to the bottom. Alright, we'll start off with Hyena Umbra. That resolves. Arcane Flight resolves. Is Curious Obsession going to resolve as well? It does? Okay. I don't mind this at all. This is awesome. So always yes, always draw. Cool. Still have no idea what my opponent's deck is doing. Is it like Teferi, Bounce, and Enchantment? That's very weak and very slow. I don't know why I didn't have like a mana leak or a remand there. Alright, Staggering Insight. What's the response? Archmage's Charm? Cool. Alright, that just leads way for Daybreak Coronet. I've like curved out really nicely this game. Perfect use of mana. Oh, hello, Mr. Plains. Alright, well now we have 7 mana. Our opponent's on 7 life. Sorry, 7 power. Our opponent on 7 life. This is the Cryptic Command territory, but we could draw Force of Negation. Let's go to attacks. Well, he's actually let it hit the attack step spot here. So unless he's got a bounce effect, a destroy effect. There's those Esper colors. Oh boy. Target player discards 2 cards. Let's suck this and look to give less information. He already knew about the Curious Obsession. Maybe that's weak. Maybe I keep the Scout. What's our next card? Okay. Cool. So another Esper deck. Well, I think the other deck was a 4-color deck. But yeah, Surgical Extraction seems good against Esper. That's why it's here. And I don't really see anything else I care about. Let's get rid of these Arcane Flights. Let's get back into it. Okay, so we see this hand which is pretty decent against everything except Thoughtseize. Okay. Okay, I'll take it. I will definitely take it. We do have to try and find a blue card here. So we don't get Kaya's Guile, because obviously they're going to hit 3 mana before we hit it. Opponent opts to the top this time. They are playing this like they are a man on a mission also. Cool. Alright, we'll attack in. Get those juicy 2 points of damage. I guess there's a window during our turn where our opponent can... We're sort of representing Stubborn Denial a little bit here. We'll see what our opponent does. Like, if he draw steps us before we play our mana. Cool, we'll play that mana, and I'm holding up my force. I don't care. Gonna play this nice and patiently. I guess I can also end step Surgical Extraction my opponent, because Force is gonna exile any effects anyway. Shark Typhoon. I think I'm gonna Surgical the Shark Typhoon and see what else he's got going on. If he counters it, okay, well. Cool, 2 Shark Typhoons in the deck, and they are gone. Alright, we're just gonna do a quick snipping tool. Get a good proper look at this deck. And that is fine. They've got double Esper Charm, they've got these Kaya's Guiles in hand, they've got Damnation as well. Ooh. They don't currently have the mana to cast Damnation though. I can extend an extra Ethereal Armor here. The Shark is just gonna block no matter what, right? Or maybe I need to make it juicy enough that he wants to block. It's very lucky that we actually hit our fourth land there and got to curve out, or else it'd be very difficult to apply pressure and hold up Force of Negation. Opponent does have Mystical Dispute though, so if they draw another mana, actually they can just Mystical Dispute our Force. So we need to go for Dried Arbor instead. Or they just cast it now. Why do you think I haven't been playing our Auras, opponent? I have the Force in hand. Like, very bizarre decision making. Very bizarre indeed, considering when he untaps, he's gonna have Mystical Dispute plus Kaya's Guile. Alright, let's see if he hits that Damnation or not. Fuck! That is stupid, man. It's an interesting art, promo art. Put our buddy to hand. There's Archmage's Charm, two Esper Charms, and a Mystical Dispute we know about. So we know all the cards in their hand. Are they like gonna colonnade, start attacking? I'm gonna have to look up some wording real quick, excuse me. Alright, opponent cast Archmage's Charm here. Oh, sorry, Esper Charm here. So we have to discard 2 cards. 1, 2. I guess they're gonna make us discard the Lurus now as well. So we'll get our Dried Arbor in any case. Draw the Stalker. Not gonna get to play it though. Alright, little Dryad, it's you against the world. He's got an Archmage's Charm, he's got a Mystical Dispute, and he's got a Celestial Colonnade. Might be a little bit too much for our little buddy here. We do get a good look at our opponent's list though from that earlier effect he's got. We just creature pass. He's got 2 Cryptic Commands, 3 Archmage's Charm, 1 Ether Gust, 1 Mystical Dispute. He's drawing the fucking Cryptic Command, and there's the Opt as well. Jesus, man. What am I missing? Did I... Okay. 3 Thoughtseize, 2 Mana Leak, 1 Mystical Dispute, 4 Opt. He just draws like 2 of the Opts like that, just to, you know, filter through his deck real nice. He top bottoms. Not bad. Pretty good. All 4 copies of Esper Charm. Esper Charm's pretty good against us. Another Damnation. Colonnade attack. I guess we're on 9. It's reasonable. I don't know how we win this from here. I don't think there's a combination of cards after he got rid of our Lurus. I think I put Lurus to hand at a bad time. I don't know. I don't think I can let it go forever though. Let's leave this in hand. Try and like bluff our opponent into thinking we're drawing stuff. If he goes for something greedy here, we can try to counter, but then he just has Mystical Dispute. He really drew Kaya's Guile. Okay, well, we'll concede this one. We know his list at least. He has 1 Kalitas, Trader of Geist, and 4 Snapcaster Mage. Honestly, I think the main difference there was our opponent was on the play and we were on the draw. I think we just run it back. Cool. Keep. Hell yeah. Let's go. If we resolve this Staggering Insight, that's huge. So if he goes for the turn 1 discard, if he does, we kind of have to let it resolve. Jesus, man. Okay. 3 of in the deck. He blanked this time. Little cheeky Surgical Extraction. Don't mind a cheeky Surgical. Let's start drawing cards. Hell yeah, blue card. This means we can play around like an explosives type effect. Nice. Alright, we'll go for that Daybreak Coronet. It resolves? This stuff's kind of crazy at the moment. I don't know why that's resolving, but I'll take it. Commit a Rancor. Be all efficient like. I think if he goes for the Esper Charm here, we force pitch Stalker, and then that lets us play around a second Kaya's Guile, a Damnation. Opponent's getting low, like it's not going to take that many more attacks for us to kill him anyway. Sick. Going for the old attack step again, opponent? No. You Archmage's charming my slippery Bogle? Cool. Back to you, opponent. Opponent drawing 2 cards. Sure. What do we got? Esper Charm with Mystical Dispute. Damnation. Damnation is not going to cut it. Booyah! Getting there against Esper. Luckily, we won that game 1, and then, yeah, game 2 worked out. Sorry. Game 2, we lost because we were on the draw. Our opponent had a good hand. Game 3, we just won. We completely tempoed the absolute misery out of him. So here we are for match number 5. 3-1 versus Mash Malovsky. Hand is good. I'm going to keep. I think I actually Hallowed Fountain into Bogle and just ignore these scouts. We also won the die roll and are on the play. Alright, so no secrets here. We're getting straight into it. We're letting him know that we're blue. See how much fear this strikes into his heart. Stomping Ground. Search for Tomorrow. Okay. Curious Obsession, attack, draw a card. Get some land, maybe. Sick. Alright, I'll just put that down in case there's some sort of wacky thing that maybe they have like a turn 2 Pyroclasm or something. We'll take a bit of extra damage to do it. Hopefully we'll be drawing our Force of Negation so we can just like beat the Scape Shift anyway. Yeah. Well, let's attack for some life gain. 1 search will be coming off suspend next turn. Okay, we draw a card. Play a scout, pass a turn. We're back up to 20 as well. I don't mind being on 20. Alright, so opponent's search goes off, they cast it, they get a land that's not really that scary. They could like Dryad of Lycian Grove plus another land and what, have like 2 floating mana by the end of it? Courser of Krufix is not Dryad of Elysian Grove. Primeval Titan on top though. Does filter that land out off the top of their library into play. This is like very regrettable with all this green mana here. Alright, we'll just attack. We'll draw a card. Opponent concedes? We're going to hit Force and Negation. Alright, we had the win. Cool. Alright, well, we're versing a Dryad of Elysian Grove deck, so Deicide in to deal with these Dryads. Seal of Primordium potentially as well, and potentially our Forces. So we actually have a lot of enchantment destruction here. Question is, what would we want to take out? I'm not sure what's better. Because Deicides and Force are good against the Dryad of Lycian Grove plus Primeval Titan. But Force is good against Scapeshift, and the deck has both. So I think we actually need to do a split here. There's potential we need to play around Engineered Explosives as well. I feel like we need to minus some number of cards out. Maybe like that. Maybe leave the other enchantments in. And then only bring in like a fraction of these, or... Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. Okie dokie. We do technically have a creature. It's a pretty vulnerable creature though. Let's mulligan. Alright, we have no auras. Opponent keeping a 7, by the way. Alright, we'll keep whatever this is. Bottom. Left to bottom 3, bottom. I think I value not running into those 3 cards more than I value the life there. Also think we want Force and Negation for maybe a few turns down the road. It might not be as impactful as keeping a land and then curving perfectly into our Daybreak. We're probably versing a deck with enchantment destruction anyway though. Cool, alright. We hit our land. We made the right call, people. Opponent with a Farseek. Haven't seen Titan Shift in a long time. Great draw. Great freaking draw. Let's go. Oh, another freaking good draw. Let's double go. Opponent tapping mana now. Casting Farseek. We'll let that happen. Don't forget, our opponent, even though they're like tapping out like this, it is possible they play another land here. They've probably got the scape shift here with the way they're playing this hand out. But it's possible for them to have Force of Vigor. Guess let's make them have it. We're like semi-representing Stubborn Denial. Cool. They have something to a similar effect. Sure. Mystical Repeal. Alright, now we're battling a prime time. That's pretty terrifying. It's going to be hard to beat that without Daybreak. We'll like need the flying that we sideboarded out. Sacrifice this and draw a bit deeper. Alright, we're drawing about as well as we mulliganed, honestly. So we take 9 damage plus 6, we take 15 damage. And we can never cast another... so 6 by 6, it's 12. No, it's 9. Yeah. Alright, so we go to 1 and we can't ever cast another spell. And then he probably just plays a post-combat land and kills us. I feel really bad about playing out this breeding pool now. I did not think that one through. I was about playing out the Misty Rainforest instead of the breeding pool. Alright, we'll concede this one. Opponent's 1 enchantment, just shuffling effect, plus prime time got them there. Alright. Well, on the play, obviously Curious Obsession is better. We did actually have Arcane Flight in here. I didn't board them all out. Something like that, I think. Although Forces may be slightly edging on the seal because we did see a shuffle effect for enchantments, so they could shuffle away the Seal of Primordium. The main like advantage of Seal of Primordium to Nature's Claim as well is just you'd put it on the battlefield, it would sit there, it would do its job if you needed it to. Your opponent would know about it. You'd force your opponent to play around it, but the thing was, you wouldn't have to hold up mana every turn for Nature's Claim and screw up your tempo. It's a once off, put it on the battlefield, then you can cast it. But Force of Vigor, it's pretty much the same thing because you can cast it for its alternate cost. So you don't lose your tempo of not tapping out mana. These forces are great. Like, these things are so powerful. That's why I'm running blue, is because this force is dumb. And yeah, it's like, even with like all the variants, extra variants of like having the extra color, taking the extra damage, all of that, we are still 3-1 this league. We're going into game 3 on the play, and you know, we're in a really good spot to win it. Like, honestly, really good spot to win it. I've just last second removed an Invisible Stalker for the 3rd Arcane Flight. There's potential for them to have like Succatur Tribe Elder, or Steve as people call him, which just fog our attack on turn 2. I'd really like my attack not to get fogged, so just snuck it in. Alright, so of course we're going to be on the play, get our companion, get into it. Hand is keepable. We'll leave our Bogle in hand and we'll lead on the Scout. This does like two things. Like, I was gonna lead on Horizon Canopy anyway for the chance to save 2 life, but save 1 life by having it enter tapped. I guess it only does one thing really. Search on exile. So we'll get in there for 3. Hopefully we can find these Force of Vigors. Force of Negations, I mean. Opponent plays Steve. Sack this one. Hallowed Fountain, in tapped. Let's play this in a way that our opponent might think that we have Stubborn Denial up. So in case they have Force of Vigor, they might be incentivized not to block. Well, I mean, they're probably going to block sack anyway. I mean, it doesn't do anything with trample. I mean, like, block trade. So it might have been like a bit of a stronger tell if I'd shocked in the Hallowed Fountain there. I think this is enough of like a tell thing. Fuck, man. If he actually blocked trades, that's not too bad because we have another creature in hand. But that's just like super frustrating. It's also the power of Rancor that it just comes back to our hand. So that was essentially a 3 for 2 in our opponent losing out. I thought I was so clever then. Do you have any other cards in your deck? Bugger off, man. Alright, Rancor plus Curious Obsession. Let's get some work happening here. Fuck me, man. How much artifact interaction or enchantment interaction do you have? Like, god damn it, man. It's got 1 card left in hand, so he must have just kept all the interaction. Like, obviously Summoner's Pact got exiled. Opponent's also going to be at an amount of mana where he can prime time next turn. Which is us in a really bad spot because we haven't been able to land any of these early attacks. Our opponent's just been doing what they feel like. Get ready for like Summoner's Pact into prime time, like just perfect. Perfect stuff. Oh, is he actually stopped drawing gas? Let's sack this Horizon Canopy. Looky, looky, we found a hooky. Well, he's got 1 card in hand. It could be a hard cast Force of Vigor. It could just be another Mystical Repeal. I'll just make him have it, and if not, we get all the value. I thought I said yes to both of these. Garbage system. Alright. Well, we're filtering away those junk cards towards something decent, right? There's the prime time. Scape Shift? Oh, come on, man. 3, 6, 7. Ugh. We literally drew our force off the second draw trigger as well. Rip. That was really close. Just make sure they fetch out the right lands and all of that, and then we conclude this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 3 is 18. all are going to get pointed to face. And we're literally one mana off of casting this. One blue card off of alternate casting it. Like, opponent hit that at the perfect point in time because he did not have that a turn earlier. He did not. Let's go ahead and reveal our hand to our opponent so he can see how lucky he is. That's still a 3-2. That's still a very positive result, people. Let's get rid of this chat box here. No, not the screen, the chat box. Wherever that is. That one? That one. Alright, so I honestly think mostly the league went very well. I think I'm still happy with the main deck configuration. I do actually think I'm going to be making a change to the sideboard though. Having played the Esper match just before, let's just ditch these surgical extractions for stubborn denials. Now, my logic behind that, people, is in game 2, when I was on the draw, which is going to happen in the matchup, Force of Negation wasn't very good because Kaya's Gale is an instant, right? So we need instant speed interaction. And I think the stubborn denial is going to be good enough. It's going to be allowing us to play our auras, attack with tempo, just holding back 1 mana. And then because we're playing our auras like Curious Obsession, we'll be drawing cards, we'll be pressuring them. And then stubborn denial can really come in and go strong. That, and we saw they're bringing in Mystical Dispute here. So on top of that, Force of Negation doesn't just like hard counter it and we're good. It's a battle. It is a battle over counter magic. So we're gonna need these stubborn denials, I think. Yeah, but that is all from me here today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of my deck, my choices, my sideboard choices. Do you like stubborn denial? That's all from me. Until next time, have a great day. See you next time.